Welcome to Since You Asked, with our unruly advisors here answering your questions. Rob Angel, how are you today?
I woke up a little, what's going on, and then I got myself together. So I feel great, David. How's that?
Freshly coiffed or freshly fucked? How's the hair?
Both good.
Good. Okay. We'll dive into that a little later.
Oh, I can't wait.
Susan, how are you doing today?
Oh, please don't ask me if I was fucked. I just don't.
Oh, let me, Susan.
I'm going to leave that to our viewers' imagination. But I am doing great with or without sexual activity.
Okay. Now that we're clear on that.
Well, thanks for coming, everybody. We got to go.
Okay, this is from a man. Since my divorce, my married friends stopped inviting me to their house or events. What's up with that? I mean, I've seen this happen. It's weird. What do you guys think?
Being divorced and being uninvited. The short answer is you're kind of a threat to your friends that are married because you're maybe going having fun and doing all this stuff, and then the wife is thinking, well, maybe my husband is missing those things, right? So all of a sudden you're not being invited as much, but really it comes down a lot to it's a couple's world. So don't take it personally. It's just the way it is.
I don't know, Rob, I'm going to disagree with you on the man not being invited, because in my experience, it's really usual for a woman not to be invited to these dinner parties. She seems to be the threat. But in my past, often what I'll see is women invite the men because the man's going to be set up. It's like he's the token guy that they're going to bring someone for. And then from the perspective of a single woman, you're the threat. They don't want you around because you're going to technically seduce all of the husbands. Or, maybe you've lost weight and bought a Porsche. I think that men are often invited as a single, because, there's someone they can set them up with. And
yeah, because they want them with somebody so they're not single. That's why they're trying to set them up. This is one of those many, many questions that we answer. They could be a man or a woman. If you didn't know who it was, this happens all the time. But you wind up just creating your own new life for yourself not without your friends. This is not an either or, but just, you're going to find new things to do. You won't feel as bad about not being invited. Just kind of falls away. When I got my divorce, I just started finding things to do, other things to do. And again, it's not that you don't have to remain friends with them. It's just physically you wind up doing other stuff.
And you need to, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that idea of you can't make friends at a certain age is baloney. And I often emphasize the fact that make is an adjective. So it's the act of actively going and seeking out new friendships. It doesn't happen. They don't just show up on your doorstep. You have to make an active effort to find people that share some of your maybe things that you never got to do.
Yeah.
Like dance or cook or...
My wife and I have dinner parties here all the time. And this would never enter my mind, whether they're a couple or... It's just like, oh, you're an interesting person. Come on over to dinner. Like, let's, meet some other people. I don't think in terms of like, I want to set you up with someone, or I just look at it entirely selfishly. Like, oh, you're interesting. Come. Like, I want to hear what you have to say, whether you're single, married, man, woman, I don't care.
What was a hesitation going on there? Yeah, but it's meeting somebody new, meeting a single person hasn't been a part of your life is a little different. I totally agree, David. Finding interesting, fun, whatever kind of people to augment your life is absolutely the fun of it. Fun of life, fun of dinner parties. It's not complicated. It just kind of happens. And you got to fight your way in. If they don't invite you, invite yourself. Tell them
I agree. And I think you make new friends, like David said. I mean, maybe the problem is the people you realize you've been hanging around with are not necessarily the greatest people, because if they're threatened by your presence, you need to find out cool couples like David and his wife. Yes, I'm inviting myself, David.
We're coming over tomorrow night.
That aren't threatened by your whatever, whether you're single, whatever it is that you are.
Well, I think there's another dynamic going on here too, because what'll happen is if there's a divorce or a breakup, there's sort of a loyalty thing that happens, right? It's like, Exactly. They're picking sides,
For sure.
and it's like, oh, we're on the other side, therefore you can't come anymore or something. And I think that's just how people are.
That happens probably more than threat or anything else, David. I think that's the biggest point, is the connection you have with one or the other, and you pick a side, and it's shit when it happens, right? It's uncomfortable for everybody, but that's a lot of the time the case.
It's heartbreaking. My former husband was a physician. And I am telling you, I got excommunicated the day it happened. They never had anything else to do with me. I could see people that I had known and had dinner parties at my home for 10, 12 years. And we would pass and they wouldn't even look my way.
Whoa.
It was devastating.
Good riddance to it.
But exactly,
Good
Rob.
riddance. Susan, you've turned out lovely. You're just fine.
I have turned out
Which is
lovely. I really have, but
Yeah.
it's a lesson learned, and you just realize those aren't the people that maybe necessarily they weren't your friends to begin with, if that's the case.
Right. It's almost mourning the death of friendships as this goes on.
You guys, thanks for your advice. Everyone, have a wonderful week. No jails, no hospitals. Keep it between the guardrails. It's just a saying. Back when I was like a late.
I took it personally,
teenager.
but keep going. Okay. Wrap it up, David. Wrap it up.
That was always the saying. Like, you can do whatever you want at night, just like no jails, no hospitals. So, okay. Anyway, onward. Enough about me. Next week, we're going to bring on one of your new questions. Send it to us if you'd like, and our fabulous advisors will do our best to solve your problems. Everybody, have a great week.
Take care, everybody.